Welcome to another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ died and he rose again. Let's get into it. So, the going into Game 5 of the 1990 NBA playoffs, Eastern Conference first round, Knicks versus Celtics. The New York Knicks had lost 26 straight games at Boston Garden up until that point in Game 5 of the 1990 Eastern Conference first round playoffs, okay? The Knicks had lost 26 straight games, okay? And really, the series should have been over in Game 3. The series really should have been over in Game 3. I made a video about that a while ago. The Celtics, they got hosed. They got hosed out of a sweep in Game 3. Hugh Hollins had a bad call. Said that Kevin McHale was out of bounds. Bird made an inbounds pass to Kevin McHale, who was standing in the corner, who drained a three, but Hugh Hollins said Kevin McHale was out of bounds, so that was the first bad call. Replay showed that the ball did not hit. The ref underneath the basket had a much better view, but said nothing. So that was the first bad call. Ewing drove, traveled, and missed. Bird threw down to McHale, who was called for traveling. Took no steps, so that was the second bad call. Reggie Lewis blocked a shot by Johnny Newman and got called for a foul. That's 3 bad calls. Oakley took a pass underneath the hoop while falling out of bounds in an attempt to draw a foul. Traveled and had his layup rejected by McHale. Called for a foul. That was the 4th bad call. Kevin McHale was whistled for a foul while deflecting the Charles Oakley pass. That was the 5th bad call. Ewing hit McHale with a moving screen. I guess no call was foul. That's 6 bad calls. There was a loose ball foul called on Bird, which was bogus. That's 7 bad calls. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. 7 bad calls. 7 bad calls in the fourth quarter of Game 3 that hosed the Celtics out of a sweep. Okay, so going back to Boston Garden for Game 5. Okay, like I said, the Knicks had lost 26 straight games. Okay, so it was a close game by halftime. Oh man, I love Hubie Brown. I miss Hubie Brown already. And well, I don't watch the NBA today. Okay, so but it's a shame that Hubie Brown had to retire from broadcasting, but Hubie Brown was the absolute best. The absolute best. Okay, so Hubie Brown was along with Dick Stockton calling that game. So in the second half of that game, the Knicks hit more than 70% of their field goals. Okay, and so there was one sequence where the shot clock was running down. Okay, shot clock was running down. The ball is deflected. Patrick Ewing hits a three out of the. Patrick Ewing hits a three from the corner in front of the Knicks bench. Okay. Patrick Ewing hits a three out of the corner in front of the Knicks bench. Okay. And Dick Stockton said that was a omen or something. But Patrick Ewing hit it. He hit a three. And just like that, the Knicks snapped their 26-game losing streak in Boston Garden. And that was the game right there they got Jimmy Rogers fired, okay? Jimmy Rogers still had a couple of years left on this deal. He was the head coach of the Boston Celtics, okay? That was the game they got Jimmy Rogers fired, okay? And it was during the Knicks Pistons series where it was found out that the Celtics had dismissed Jimmy Rogers days earlier, okay? That was the game they got Jimmy Rogers fired, okay? So not only did the Knicks end a 26-game losing streak, they also ended Jimmy Rogers' tenure as coach of the Boston Celtics. And Chris Ford was brought in for the 1990-91 season, right? So the Celtics promoted from within when K.C. Jones retired after the 1988 season. It was Jimmy Rogers. Jimmy Rogers gets fired. Chris Ford gets promoted, okay, to head coach. Then Chris Ford is out. Emil Carr gets promoted to head coach, okay. So, the Celtics promoted from within. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. So, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about how Kobe Bryant embarrassed the Charlotte Hornets and Charlotte Hornets. I talked about how Kobe Bryant embarrassed the New Orleans Hornets back then with 2 posterization dunks. Okay, well, here's one in 2003 that is forgotten. It's one of Kobe's forgotten posterizations, and there was a guy by the name of Vincent Yarbrough, played his college ball in Tennessee. Nobody really remembers Vincent Yarbrough, but I think Kobe Bryant does. Take a look.
Long run out by Kobe Bryant. Behind.
First of all, you got to remember, I'm catching it over my head. Then I got the presence of mind to go behind my back with a man closing on me. Then I had to think about, I'm going to go and almost go up and then turn in midair and dunk it behind my head. Come on now.
That's a basketball play. That's what makes it so much more impressive. It wasn't the fact that he just jumped over me. He made you look silly.
Robert already threw me a long outlet pass, and I caught it on the break. And I was just going to the basket, just trying to finish it, and he cut me off, so I put it behind my back, and then went from there.
If you watch the defender, a guy by the name of Vincent Yarbrough, who probably is watching this show and is seeing firsthand, and his family is watching alongside, that he was nearly posterized, but Vincent kind of puts his hands down so as to avoid the official word that you have been posterized.
All right. Yeah, you heard what Marvin Albert said. If you watch the footage, there's a guy by the name of Vincent Yarbrough who's probably watching this show right now with his family. So yeah, that was one of Kobe's forgotten posterizations. By the way, Charles Barkley once said Isaiah Ryder was nuts. That's what Charles Barkley had to say about Isaiah Ryder. Isaiah Ryder, yes, he was a little bit of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at times. But he had real skills and real talent. Just check out what he did to Patrick Ewing as a rookie.
The Knicks lead is down to 7. Ewing got the step and was rejected by Ryder. What a play!
Yeah. Anytime you can get up that high and block Patrick Ewing, you can play. Yeah. You can play. If you can get up that high and reject Patrick Ewing, you can play. And so Isaiah Ryder had another memorable play. It's this one against the Sacramento Kings during the 1994-95 season. Here it is.
Good defense by Ryder, forcing a tough shot by Richmond.
Did not allow him to put it on the floor and get by.
Oh, are you kidding?
Play of the decade. Play of the decade.
We'll see that time and time again, Chad Hartman.
We got to see it again right now. Unbelievable. Well, he was destined for the Tonight Show before some plans changed. They would have known about this shot. They'd have booked him once again. Innocent enough play. Winston Garland about to pass the ball to J.R. Ryder, who started away from the ball, and then this happens.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
Wolves have made their last 3. That obviously wasn't 3.
You heard what the announcer said, right? Play of the decade. Play of the decade. Right? But that was a pretty incredible shot by Isaiah Ryder. Okay. That was a pretty incredible shot. Not only do you save the ball from going out of bounds, but you hit a 3-pointer. Man. That's a combination of luck. That's probably about 99% luck and 1% skill. Or maybe it's both. Okay. But I would say it's probably luck. Because it's very, very rare that you save a ball from going out of bounds and then it winds up being a 3-pointer. Okay. Speaking of which, one of the more forgotten 3-pointers in NBA history, Jeff Malone. Okay. Jeff Malone had a very successful career. Started out with the Bullets. Got traded to the Jazz in 1991. Spent a few years in Utah. Then got traded to the Philadelphia 76ers after the 1994 season. And I believe he finished up his career in Philly. If I'm mistaken, right? So when Jeff Malone was in his Bullets years, very high scorer. Efficient scorer, okay? So, Jeff Malone had one of the most insane game winners against the Detroit Pistons back in 1984. Okay, here it is.
Sobers is in the ball game with Frank Johnson for the outside shooting. Popping off at Sobers' three-point try straight away. Good! Ricky Sobers with a three-pointer. He has 25, 7 seconds remaining. Foul in the backcourt. Frank Johnson commits the foul against John Long. It's 102 to 100. Don't go away. The crowd is trying to get in the way. Next one by John Long is up. No good. Rebound, Day. Day with 5 seconds into the front court. Goes to Malone into the corner. Malone throws up a brick left side. Good! Oh, my goodness, what a shot! Oh! Oh! Unbelievable shot by Jeff Malone on the left baseline. He was behind the basket.
Now, the question is, who did hit it better? Isaiah Ryder or Jeff Malone? Because both passes were going out of bounds, okay? And they ended up being 3-pointers, okay? So the question is, who did it better? Isaiah Ryder or Jeff Malone? Hard. That's pretty much a toss-up right there. I would have to give the slight edge to Jeff Malone because the shot that Jeff Malone hit was a game winner. Okay, it was a game winner. So I'm going to have to get the slight edge to Jeff Malone on that one. Okay. All right. That's it. That's all for Throwing It Back. I am out of here. May God bless y'all with many blessings. Peace.